good team. Definitely not anybody that you would discount or think less. You don't do that to any team in college football, but last week they walked into Chapel Hill and handed UNC the first loss of the year. And that wasn't by mistake either. They earned that physically on the defense, on the offensive line, both sides of the line. And interior, they got good, big, strong, experienced graduate type, good football players. The whole D line is good too. The guys on the ends, they're a good football team. They're a good football team. We got to go out and play our game and get after it.
I'll keep it rolling. I'm not sure if you spoke to the reporters after the game, but with Emory starting on Saturday, how did you kind of help him out? Maybe kind of walk him through things. Obviously, his first college start, making it against a team like Clemson is obviously must be a little bit intimidating. How'd you kind of help him out, walk him through things?
Yeah, I think, and Emory's he's a young guy. He's a freshman. That was his first start, like you say, but he's such a prepared, he's a confident young man, and he was completely prepared to go out there and do what he did, and he played his game. He played a good game. He really led us to victory in his first start. But I think throughout the week, trying to instill confidence in him, and especially us on offensive line, letting him know, like, hey, we're going to protect you. We're going to do what we need to do, put you in the best position to succeed, and he just got to let it nuts hang and get after. And that's exactly what he did. I'm super proud of him, and I know he's probably nervous for the game and nervous after the game. I watched his interview, but he's young, he's a freshman, and he did a great job. And also during the week last week, it was, and this week and really every week, but I think we even stressed a little bit more because of that case, because you don't have Tyler, your veteran quarterback. You had a freshman starting, and that, hey, like, it's on us, the offensive line. Like, nobody else on the team, nobody else on the offense. We gotta go out and do it, and we gotta win the game.
Next, we'll go to Matt Shardell of Kane Sport. Matt.
Yeah, hey Matt. So I guess look, you guys are doing really, really well as an offensive line, obviously, but I think people haven't really been thinking about the tight ends that much. And I was watching that 15-play drive over, and obviously you guys did really well, but the two tight ends that they kept on rotating in had such a big impact. Can you sort of give a shout-out to those guys? How have they been doing in terms of helping the offensive line in run blocking and pass protecting?
So much, huge, and you're exactly right. That's such a undervalued, discounted thing, especially in the media, but in the building, in the walls of football facilities, and here in University of Miami, we all recognize what the tight end position means, and it's much more and really in our offense too, because we spread the ball around. We have a lot of receivers that we can put in the game to get catches and get down the field. But a guy like Cam McCormick, played 70 snaps, I think, 72 snaps, something like that, almost the entire game on Saturday, and played great in the run game. He's smart, he's old, he's strong, he gets after guys in the pass game, chips, picking up defensive ends, picking up big bodies and blocking them really, really well. And that guy gets so undervalued when you go online or this and that, but that's a huge part of the game. And now that Elijah played a lot, Elijah Arroyo played a lot versus Clemson. He'd been coming back from injuries, this and that, but most of the season hasn't seen the field very much, and he went out there, did the same thing, played really good, blocked really good run and pass game. And then young Riley Williams, who's played a lot this year, played every game this year, because the extent we do use tight ends and 11 personnel and 12 personnel, week in and week out. Riley's done a great job every week, and he can continue to get better. And on the same page with Cam and Elijah, just physical, smart, athletic, can block anyone you put him against, and it's a huge, huge thing for every football team. It's really a huge thing for our offense.
Next, we'll go to Susan Miller-Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan?
Hey, Matt. Brashard Smith has been kind of under the radar this season, not to opponents, I'm sure, but any thoughts about him and when he touches the ball and what he's like?
Yeah, he's electric. He's explosive. He's a super fast guy. He has good vision, and he's a guy that obviously he's been returning kicks and whatnot for us all year. Every single game, and he's really, really, really good at that. But getting the ball in his hand and in positions on offense where there's a lot of space. And kind of making like a quick screen where it kind of becomes like a punt return, where you get it into a playmaker like his hands that can make a cut, that can beat pretty much anybody or whoever you want against him in a race down the field, like he did the other night on the tight zone that hit him the B gap, and he ran it for whatever 80 yards or 70, 75 yards, whatever that was, and no one was going to catch him. He's doing a great job, and a lot of the season, like I think Coach Dawson said the other day, a lot of the season he was playing some, but not kind of to the extent that he could be, in that really how he could be used as a real weapon, and how we are using him. But he's been building trust all season, and he's a hell of a player, hell of a playmaker, super athletic, and he makes splash big plays for us.
Thank you.
We'll wrap up for today we'll do two more. Next, we'll go to Marcus Benjamin from Keynes County.
Hey, Matt, I just kind of wanted to ask about offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson, and just if you could compare maybe him to maybe other offensive coordinators that you've had in the past, and just his personality and just his play calling ability. Just what kind of impact has he made on this offense?
Dude, since he got here, and got here right before spring, a little bit before spring, and kind of installed what he wanted to get into, and what his offensive philosophy is, going through spring, going through summer, going through camp. He's learning, or continued to learn, us and our quarterback and our receivers and our personnel, our offensive linemen and running backs more and more and more. And and we learned him more and more and more, and what he likes to do and what he wants to do, and where his kind of mind goes in a game and during the week and whatnot. But he's done an excellent job. He's as a guy, great dude. Love to be around him. Gets after it every day. Always a positive attitude. He's a fun guy that you want to play for. That gives you your flowers. That takes about everything you really want, and the personality of your offensive coordinator. And just how he approaches the game. Obviously in his history, and being back at University of Houston and whatnot, which I had played against him a few times previously at UCF, being in the same conference and stuff. He obviously likes to throw the ball around, and kind of that's something that he loves to do, is spread it out, throw the ball around the field. But also, during the game and how you're playing kind of is going to define what your offensive coordinator is going to be able to call. So, last week when we were playing Clemson, we start running the ball in the second half and really start being effective with it. Well, as a coordinator and as a play caller, and who he is going to be, all right, well, let's stick with this. Let's keep pushing through it. So there's kind of two sides of that. Obviously, he has his philosophy, but what we're doing and what's working for us as personnel on the field, that's going to dictate a little bit of what he calls as well. But he's done a great job, and I love him.
We'll wrap up for today with Daryl Streeter from Footballville. Daryl?
Hey, Matt, I got two questions. You've been in a lot of huddles. As the game grew on, talk to us about what you saw from Emory in the huddle. Could you tell that he was settling in?
Yeah, and I play one, snap one. He had his nerves about him. He wasn't freaking out or anything like that. But undoubtedly, as the game goes on and as he gets more comfortable and more confident, and hey, now he's played 50 snaps or whatever, and however many snaps he played that game, whether it's 80, 75, whatever it was. But through he gets to the first half and he gets to see the field, what the defense is doing, and he gets more comfortable with his arm and what he's looking at. There is more confidence in the huddle and more in a more commanding kind of style of a quarterback. But for his first start, and he's a freshman, he's a young guy. He did a great job, and Emory's a hell of a player. He's got all the tools you want. He's a big dude to throw the ball around the field. He's smart, and he's going to continue to grow. He's going to be a really, really good player.
What's your thoughts on Jakari Brown?
JB does a great job. Same thing, there's nothing absolutely bad, nothing to say about JB. He's through camp and through the season, he's done an excellent job of, when his name gets called, or when maybe they want to add something that is more tailored toward him a little bit, which obviously we haven't used much, but being able to have him back there as a more athletic guy that can run around. But, JB can throw the ball too, and I think he's done a really good job of being a really positive and supportive teammate and keeping his morale very high, given that, Emory is the second string quarterback. But absolutely nothing bad to say about JB as a guy, as a player. Nothing. He's done a great job, but he's continuing to develop, and he's been a really, really good dude.
All right, thanks.
Matt, thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you on Saturday.
All right, thanks. Have a good one.